Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And tonight I am going back to a menu that I had a few years ago, two, possibly three, I'm not sure. But this is one of the vegetarian Norwegian Arctic field rations. There's Smitty in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is pasta and tomato sauce, menu 12. And the best buy date was October of 2020. So it doesn't have a production date on the outside of this. So I can guess that this was probably packed in maybe 2017, something like that. It still has this. The newer versions of this do not have this where you can peel this off and use it to, actually there's a corner down here, peel this off and use it to close this bag back up after you open it. At least from the few that I've seen that are more recent runs of this type of ration, and it's always the left corner. You peel it apart. Sometimes they open good. Sometimes you get that. And I have the Tupperware tray out tonight because the main will give me a huge amount of food. So we have the Choco Crisp protein bar. The dark chocolate bar. %60 cacao. I like that. Spicy sauce. Let's see, there is Cliff and Storms Radio and Cats. Tracy Phillips is here. I think Cliff is new. A visitor. I haven't seen that name before in here, so thanks for dropping in. Polder Mill Colombian Coffee. There's another new name I haven't seen in here before. Would that be Sharon or Charon? I'm not sure which way you would want me to go on that. This is the older gum. I believe the newer gums in these come in a slightly different package, but there's one piece of gum in there. Got the wet wipe. And this is a pasta and tomato sauce. I couldn't see any kind of a production date on here, but this is a Ziploc seal, and it is sealed before they zip it closed before they do the top seal. Of course, it looks like the top seal got a little bit messed up, but it's a good thing the Ziploc is closed. So this thing is going to give me a lot of food. And got the spoon, which is too short. And I won't be using that to mix it because I have a different one. Got, these are lemon candies. They're kind of like the like the lemon drops that we have here. There's a better look at them. Similar shape. And then got the package says dry fruit, but this is raisins in the silver package. Wow! Knock me backwards. This is a new drink I've never had before. Raspberry. I've had the orange and the peach, or not orange, but the lemon and the peach. I know there's an apple out there, but I have not seen it. So the raspberry I have not had before, so I'm very interested in trying that. And then they always provide a Ziploc bag. This is a 1 liter capacity. You could use it to pack out your trash, or if you didn't eat the entire ration, you could put the unused items in here or use it to keep something dry. So these are great bags to have, so I keep these and I do use them. And that is it. That is in this ration. I will use another bag for trash because that will be a lot easier to contain it. Plus, I can just grab this for those late coming, show what the ration is. So I'm going to put a few things aside. I'm going to put the coffee over by my mug. Nice clean rip on that. I'm just going to use a Walgreens bag. Nice hiss, I hope you heard that. I love these bags because they're gusseted on the bottom. Not much of a smell coming off of there. These do not have oxygen absorbers in them. See, Mike Kreischer's in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I'm just scrolling back through the chat to see if I missed anybody coming in. Looks like I'm all caught up now. That is what the coffee looks like. And because this ration does not come with my must-have coffee additives, creamer and sugar, I put those in. And because this bag is tall, I bring back the spoon that I have used in the past to mix these. This is just a teaspoon for my kitchen. So I am going to go get the kettle. That should be up to a boil by now. And I'll mix these and I'll be right back. I'm going to start with that. Spicy tuna rolls is here. Ration, let's see. I gotta scroll up. Nation MRE Finds is here. Sorry about the phone shaking. I was scrolling. I want to make sure I get all of this exposed to the water. And now I'm going to add a bit more water. Now I'm going to zip it up. Infos is here. Thanks for dropping in. Now I'm going to put this in a Reflectix bag. This is the one that Tack from ALK Foraging and Adventures gave me some time back. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to give the whole thing a shake. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take the kettle back to the kitchen. Normally when I'm doing my reviews, I like to mix the drink first. But in this case, I do the freeze-dried portion. There's a nice clean rip on that. I wonder if Traversing Food has ever gotten the raspberry drink from a Norwegian Arctic field ration. See, this Ziploc was not closed. So there might have been a little powder stuck in there. And as usual, you can see some of the stuff stuck to the side. Like it had some moisture in it already. And this pouch is gusseted. 3DL is equivalent to 300 mils because a deciliter is 10 milliliters. So it's not quite up to the fill line, but that's done on purpose because I'm going to give it an initial shake. There, that should do for the water. I'm just scrolling back through the chat to see if I missed anyone. There is still some stuff left in the bottom. So I'm going to put a little more water in here, just a little. And I'm going to take my spork and scrape the bottom of this. There we go. So 300 mils is just a little bit over a cup. So that is what the raspberry drink looks like. I think I'm still going to give it a bit of a stir. James Ortiz is here. Thanks for dropping in. This is a vegetarian Norwegian Arctic Field Ration Menu 12, pasta and tomato sauce. Because of the limitation on the title, when I went to label it, I put tomato pasta. But when I go into my studio, I said to add this to my ration playlist, I can expand the title and put more in there. So anyway, while we wait for my big bag of tomato pasta over there to rehydrate, I'm going to open up the rest of these. No tear notch on the raisins that I can find, so I'm going to get the cheaters. Sorry, my little thing for my foam mount blocks some of the raisins, but I think there's enough there you can see it. Let's see who. Oh, let's see. Dave Booger Butt dropped in. Thanks for dropping in. Hope LJ is doing well. There we go. And this is a Choco Crisp protein bar. It looks like a chocolate Rice Krispie bar. And then the dark chocolate bar. Looks absolutely perfect. No bloom. I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave these candies in the packet, unless you want me to go ahead and open them up. Which I can do. But before I do anything else, I am going to check on this. I'm going to give this another stir. It's thickening up quite nicely. I'll zip it up. And I'll put it back in here to keep the heat in. And I just set that off to the side. Okay, I'll slide the tray over a little bit more anyway. So I'll go ahead and open up these candies. And I will put them up here. And I just have a Walgreens bag to my left serving as my trash bag. So there is these lemon candies. Lemon footballs. I'm glad LJ is doing well, and I hope you're doing well, considering what you had to deal with last year. And I got a little issue of my own. I got a bandage on my left pinky, so I got myself into a little trouble over the weekend, but I'm dealing with that. I'm going to keep it covered. I don't want to show you that mess. But I'm going to go ahead and take a taste of this raspberry drink. It's like a sweet raspberry. It's not extremely strong. I mean, it's definitely there, but it's a little sweeter than I expected. But the raspberry flavor is still there. And when I opened up these raisins, I could smell that they smell very, very fresh, but they are rather small. But they taste very good, though. They're sweet, they're soft. My heater just kicked on. But they're good raisins. I'm happy with that. That's a bugger. I hope you have a good result from that and everything turns out okay. But it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to these kinds of medical issues. I pulled their milk coffee with my own creamer and sugar added. It's an okay coffee. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But, you know, I'm happy to have a coffee in a ration. And this is the Choco Crisp protein bar. These are not too sweet. It's almost like it's more cocoa than sugar content, which I don't mind. But I can definitely taste that it is a protein bar. But that protein supplement flavor is not bothersome. I will finish this off because I really do enjoy these. And for those coming in late, Norwegian Arctic Field Ration, Menu 12, vegetarian pasta and tomato sauce. And I have a little something extra that I'm going to be adding to it. Yeah, there are some really nasty ones out there. I would stick to the more well-known brands. I mean, it's okay to try some different ones, but But these Norwegian bars, the cranberry one is really good. I do enjoy that one. I've never had a Danish ration, so I don't know what those bars are like. But the Soldier Fuel bar from Canadian IMPs, I don't know if those are classified as a protein bar, but they're like an energy bar, kind of like our First Strike bars. I really do enjoy them. In fact, I have a video comparing the chocolate Soldier Fuel bar and the chocolate First Strike bar. Yeah, the similarities and the differences between those two. I think I did it inside of a ration review. Yeah, Kind bars, there's such a variety of those. Those are great bars to have for on the go. Yeah, and I enjoy a Cliff bar now and then. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of here. I'll use this long spoon to get the rest of it out of here. The pasta in here is really small pieces, so that makes it a lot easier to rehydrate. Oops. What you do get in this is that TVP, or textured vegetable protein. And that gives you the physical sensation that you're getting meat in here. In fact, there is a larger chunk of it. Here, let's see if I can get it to focus. But I think this stuff needs a little something extra. Oh, let's see. Someone snuck in through the doggy door. I thought someone mentioned LC. I don't see... Oh, there's LC. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, if there's pasta involved, I have to bring out the parm. The last time I had this particular main, I did not add anything to it. But this time, I decided I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to see what a little parm does to this. Oh yeah, that definitely helps. CT is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Vegetarian pasta with tomato sauce. And based on the Best Buy date of October 2020, I am going to assume that this one may have been packed in, say, 2017, 2018, something like that. So I added some of my Parmesan cheese to this. And that makes it taste good. So got the lemon drops. Got raisins here. The Choco Crisp protein bar. Nice snap on the chocolate bar. No bloom whatsoever. European chocolates are the best. And these bars are pretty darn good. And the drink is raspberry. The first time I've seen raspberry in a Norwegian Arctic field ration. I have, up to this point, only had the lemon and the peach. But I'm going back to this. When I've had the Norwegian mains just as a single item, I've gotten these in some mystery boxes or just, boxes that people have sent me. I've taken them camping, and they have made for a quick meal when we have to do our own food, if we're not having a potluck or everybody brings a dish and shares. So it's just easy to boil up some water on the fire, put it in here. And then I'd done the same with some of the freeze-dried entrees from Minotaur Trading Company, but I would stick them in my coat pocket, and I had one leak. So Tack from ALK Foraging and Adventures gave me this bag, and she made some for other people. And then I have other bags similar to this that have either been used as mailers or inside of another package to protect an item in it. So anytime I get any of those like foil bubble wrap bags, I keep them. So I have an assortment of sizes that I can use for insulation around something. This is what's for dinner. I don't know how well you can read that, but it's vegetarian. There are a few other vegetarian Norwegian AFRs that I've had, but they're all really good. I have not run into a bad Norwegian AFR yet. Arctic Field Ration. But I added my own Parmesan cheese to this. So the TVP that is put in here, it gives you the texture of meat. It gives you the chew of meat, like ground meat. And it gives you the protein. It's just the soy protein. And then the really small noodles. But I thought it would be fun to throw a little parm on here. And I like it. Well, stay safe and keep your eyes on the road. Yeah, I'd like to see the Norwegians up their coffee game a little bit. Now, the Poldermill coffee is okay, but there are better ration coffees out there. Elsie, I've showed you what's for dinner. Do you need to borrow my thick glasses? But, like I said, I have yet to encounter a Norwegian Arctic field ration that I did not like. I haven't found that one yet. Now, I wouldn't mind a little bit more of a tomato flavor in this sauce. But otherwise, it's good. And I will chow down on all of this. Now that's okay. I dunked the protein bar into the coffee. At first, when you take a bite of it, it cuts through that protein bar taste, but then as you chew it, you get that back. But, you know, it might soften it up a little bit, but as they are, they're easy to bite into. They're a lot more forgiving on the teeth than some of the harder bars like the Soldier Fuel bar or First Strike bars. Or the special biscuits that you get in Polish and Lithuanian rations. But I'll eat those things because I enjoy the flavor of them. It would if I had put a piece in right when I poured the boiling water in. It would probably melt completely. But because the coffee has cooled down quite a bit, it'll soften it up on the surface. But it wouldn't completely melt right in my hand before I dropped it in. Other way is take a bite of the chocolate and a drink of the coffee, one after the other. My tray likes to spin. Yeah, this raspberry drink could use a touch more tartness. I mean, the taste almost seems like a sweet cherry than a raspberry. So they may have missed the mark slightly on that, but it's still a nice drink. And it's a nice change from what I've had before. Yeah, this 60% cacao. It's right up to where I like it because I really like dark chocolate. I've also had chocolates that have had a higher cacao percentage, like 65, 70. There was a 70 in, you'll get 70% bars in some French rations. And I really enjoy those. And this tray I've had since 1983. It never got a whole lot of use until I started doing ration reviews after I won an MRE from Sticky Fingers 745 back in early 2017. Yep. You get you get like a base flavor, and then you get the others to complement it or go with it to achieve what they want. It's like those all fruit bars, like the Russian fruit bars, the Lara bars. Some other rations have fruit bars, like British rations have had them, and I think Orifo does them for other countries. Like fig might be the main fruit, or date might be the main fruit, and then the others are mixed in. Yep. You know, it's like the British fruit purees, the fruit explosion, or some of the other ones that they have used. Applesauce is the main, and then the other flavors are added. Let's see. I just looked on the ingredients for the raspberry. It says aroma would mean scent, probably flavoring. And it's the other ingredients like sugar, maltodextrin, malic acid, some of the nutrients, you know, no juice, no natural raspberry flavor in this. Not really surprised considering how it tastes like almost cherry. That's a little chilly. Here in Des Moines, it's like 6 Fahrenheit. So it's probably like minus 20 Celsius or something like that. Nope, I was wrong. Minus 14 Celsius. So 6 Fahrenheit. Use another phone to pull the weather up. Wow, you're definitely having a warm streak there. But this is winter in Iowa, so I'll deal with it. Yesterday I went out to go pick up something, and I wore long johns underneath my pants. Well, Elsie, I'm sure that did not come from Iowa. Yes, Smitty, that would warm anybody up. Especially if you're walking on uneven terrain. A pumpkin is in one of her spots that she likes to lay on. Sometimes she'll make an appearance during my stream. Sometimes she'll just sleep right through it. I don't have anything that seems to be attractive by scent. And nope, she just jumped up on my kitchen counter. Pumpkin! Come here, Pumpkin! 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 Pumpkin kitty! There's a pumpkin. There's a pumpkin. There's my torty girl. Yeah, you pumpkin. That's just my charger cord. Here's my torty girl. What you doing, pumpkin? Hmm? What you doing, pumpkin? Yeah, I'm talking about you. She jumps up there. I'll put you back in the mount. Got someone new here. Oops, let me fix. There we go. Green Granny is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. DeCarlos Perry is here. This is Norwegian Arctic Field Ration Menu 12, vegetarian pasta and tomato sauce with some Parmesan cheese that I added, just because I can. And this is on my Tupperware tray that I got back in 1983. Let's see if we can get that to focus better. My high school class was having a fundraiser Tupperware party to earn money to put towards our senior class trip. And this is during my junior year in 1983. And I bought a few pieces. This tray I bought for myself, and then I bought 2 more pieces to give to my mom. She was actually looking for a couple of specific Tupperware items. And so I had the money on me, and I bought them and gave them to her. In the drinking jar, a raspberry flavored drink, but it's sweet and it almost tastes like cherry. I was hoping for a little bit more tartness, but for an artificial drink, it's not bad. It's the first time I've seen this flavor in a Norwegian Arctic Field Ration. I don't know if anyone else who's had these has gotten a raspberry. There's an apple drink out there somewhere. I would love to try that one. I don't know if the peach and the lemon are the most common. I don't know what other flavors Real Termat uses. Then we have raisins, and they're still very fresh. They're small. But they're very good raisins. Got the Choco Crisp protein bar. And then the 60% chocolate bar. Well, that's good. I know we were picky eaters when we were kids. And when my niece and nephews were young, they were picky. And my great niece was picky, but she's expanding her palate. So that's good. She's trying some new things. Of course, she's going to be 12 pretty soon. Hard to believe she's almost a teen. Oh, yum. Although I've never had fish head. That's something I'm not used to eating unless it's really, really, really tiny fish that is whole. But even that's very rare when I've eaten a fish head. But a salmon stew on rice does sound really delicious. I do have some more salmon in my freezer. I think I have 2 packages. So every once in a while, I will pull one of those out. And depending on the size of the fillet that's in there, I usually get 2, maybe 3 meals out of it if it's really big. Yes. I have the spicy sauce, but I've chosen not to use it. And this is by Orifo. And a certain guy likes to pronounce it Orifio. I don't know if that's on purpose or if it's just he's not paying attention, not actually looking at the letters. But it's Orifo or Orifo. I'm not sure of the proper pronunciation, but it's definitely not Orifio because there's not an extra I in there. But that sauce is actually pretty good. But I would save it for something like chili, something that is actually calling for a hot sauce. So I'm just kind of scrolling back through the chat. So they're talking about cooking different things that I'm not used to eating. I've never had it. I didn't grow up with it. I ate some Polish dishes as a kid. Oh, sorry about that. I keep bumping this thing. My mom used to make awesome cabbage rolls, and she would put a tomato sauce on them. Yep, that's right. You have to You have to do things the right way with certain parts of the animal, and even certain plants. You got to do it the right way, otherwise it's either not edible at all or it tastes like crap. But because I don't eat pork, I would not eat the pig's feet or the tail or anything like that. That'll do it for the main entree. Elsie, are you wanting to share that with me or someone else? Yeah. When I had a home care client, I was doing what we called homemaker service, not the personal care of their body, unless assistance was going to the bathroom. But this client had the chitlins, and she would get them frozen in a bucket, and when she wanted to cook them, they had to be thawed out and rinsed. So a couple of times I was the one who actually did that. And all I can hope is I hope that I did it right, because, I only had so much time. To spend there before I had to go outside, walk to a bus stop to go to my next client. But I had to deal with those things, and it's some work. I'll tell you, it is some work dealing with those things. Yeah, it is a lot of work. I'm guessing what I did was probably just start the process. I would get them thawed out. I would rinse them. Change the water a couple of times. And then while I'm waiting for them to soak, I would go do something else in her apartment, and then I would go back to the kitchen to drain the water and rinse them again. But yeah, that is some work dealing with those things. Yeah, we have that service here. It's usually called paratransit. And I tried to get my mom to apply for it because I know she'll qualify, since she is a senior. And she can't walk very far. She uses a walker. And In order to get to the bus stop, she has to walk across a huge apartment property up a hill, and she just can't make that hill. So she will qualify for paratransit, and plus the bus that does go by there only runs Monday through Friday and once every 2 hours. That's it. I've given her the paperwork a couple of different times. Yeah, pork rinds would be from the fat back, I believe. I believe that's where the pork rinds would come from. They're also known as chicharrones. That's a Spanish word for the pork rinds. Yeah, it's the skin. So it's almost, it has nothing to do with the innards at all. It's skin and the fat that's on it. If you get them from a Latino store or in some other stores, you might see the word chicharrones. And you can get them flavored with different things like barbecue flavor and hot and spicy, I believe. But I have never seen that made out of another animal besides a pig. Yeah, I would eat the pho, but not with tripe. I wouldn't go that far. Raisins and chocolate together. Yeah, we have had some in the past. Our paratransit system has been a bit iffy. In fact, I know of one person This was many years ago I heard about this. It has improved greatly since then, but a person in a wheelchair called to arrange a ride, and a standard taxi cab was sent, and the person uses a motorized wheelchair. And so that taxi cab was not going to do. And then sometimes the drivers would not even show up at all. And so people have missed their appointments because drivers were just not showing up. But the service has improved a whole lot since then. But when I was doing home care, one of my clients had arranged a ride with another service to go do some grocery shopping. And what did they send? A crappin' ambulance. Yeah, they wasted an ambulance trip. By sending it to someone who wanted to use the service for a grocery run, which was allowable under their system. Yeah, they did. The ambulance driver was confused. His partner was confused. And then the company couldn't figure out why she was refusing the ambulance. So she kept complaining until they sent a regular van to pick her up to go do her grocery shopping. And by the time that happened, I was already gone to my next client. Yeah, it was definitely a waste of resources. Because that ambulance could have been better used to go take a person to a hospital or even an urgent care clinic instead of to a grocery store. We also have had issues in the past with drivers going to the wrong address, or just completely getting lost. Or they show up at the wrong time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew someone years ago who was actually doing home dialysis, but he would still have to go into a hospital or clinic for regular testing and to make sure that the system that he was using was working and that he would have all of the supplies that he needed. There is CR in the house. Thanks for dropping in. He's also north of the border. I had a vegetarian dinner tonight, but I added my own Parmesan cheese, so the main is completely gone. Got an artificial raspberry drink, which is closer to a sweet cherry than a raspberry, in my opinion. And I finished off all the raisins. These are lemon candies, like lemon drops we can get here in the States. These are just a little bit shinier on the outside. Let's see if I can get this to focus. That's like a lemon, lemon-shaped candy football. Choco Crisp protein bar. And then I've eaten part of this chocolate bar already. This is a 60% cacao chocolate bar. And then Polder milk coffee with my own creamer and sugar added. But I did not use the spicy sauce. And I have the gum. I'm not much of gum chewer, but I still saved all those because one day I may need to chew a piece of gum, to freshen my breath or just have something to chew on. Yep. The company, they call it Dry Track, but it's also known as Real Termat. Here it says Real Field Meal. And it's nice that these have English. So there's the Norwegian, English, and French. Because Norway is a member of NATO, they have to have French on the labels. So this is what the pouch would look like after it's emptied, of course, but because these are freeze-dried and or some ingredients might be dehydrated, they're light, and as long as you can boil water, you got yourself a bag of hot food. And I've taken some of these camping. This ones that I've had from Minotaur Trading Company, some of the freeze-dried entrees they've done, I've taken those camping as well, and they're easy to use that way. So even if you're not a vegetarian, this is still a good one to get. And if you can add a few things to it to make it your own, why not? Yeah, they can be small, but sometimes they're the perfect size. It just depends on how hungry you are and the space you have to pack the food. And these wet wipes are very nice. Yeah, I keep ones like this in my purse because I like to have wet wipes available, when I'm on the go. So if I go into a grocery store and the cart is sticky, or I touch something that's sticky, that's I naturally want a wipe instead of just taking a squirt of my hand sanitizer. I like having those wipes, and they're good ones. Oh, that's a super chat. No, this one did not come from Emery Mountain. And I do thank you for that super chat, by the way. I got this in one of the goodie boxes that I got earlier this month. See, I got, Mike sent me a box, and let's see, I've had another box loaded with stuff, so I don't remember who sent me this one. But the first time I got this particular menu, I got it from Foreign MRE. So I am down to my chocolate. These lemon candies they call citron, which is basically the citrus. So you get 12. Yeah, here, our paratransit, you have to call at minimum 1 day in advance, preferably 3 days. Sometimes that doesn't quite work out. Yeah, it's like our paratransit here. You have to have a qualifying disability, no access to regular bus routes or very limited access. For instance, like where my mom lives, she does not have weekend bus access, and the one route that does go by there only stops there every 2 hours. And no night service at all. And because she can't walk up the hill to go from the back of the apartment property where her building is up to the front of the property where the bus stop is at the street, she just cannot do that. So she would qualify. I mean, heck, she's going to be 80 this year. Yeah, in October, she's going to turn 80. She uses a walker, so they would have to send one of the mini buses And we have a few different models here because we've gotten some newer ones over the past few years. Yeah, it took my sisters a while to convince her to go ahead and apply for food assistance, even though she doesn't get much. But hey, every bit extra counts. I have no idea about that. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. When my niece and nephews were younger, they were into the Pokemon thing, and my great niece was into it for a little while. But my niece has done Pokemon Go. To me, it's just useless. I don't know anything about that. But my niece and nephews were, at the time when they were kids, they were more into the cards. So I would get them packs of cards every once in a while. Yeah, it's cold here. 6 Fahrenheit, minus 14 Celsius. I know of an Ash Ketchum that has a YouTube channel. I don't know if this is a different one, but this YouTuber seems to be is an adult. So I can only assume that must be a different person with the same name. haven't sucked on any of these candies yet because you can tell they're hard. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm not into that cartoon thing. I don't watch them. I don't own a TV. I don't watch them. I subscribe to Hulu, but I got it because I wanted to try to watch Eating History, but I couldn't for some reason. I would have had to pay more to get it, and even then, I'm not sure if I would have been able to watch it anyway. So I just, the basic lowest price they have. I just really haven't seen anything on there that would pique my interest. Although I have always enjoyed sci-fi, but I look at some of the titles, and some of them just seem a bit strange. Yeah. If I want local news, I'd just look it up online. I listen to local radio stations in the morning. But that's pretty much, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I had a decent Star Trek collection until I got ready to move over here. Then I sold it. I sold everything I had to one guy for $100. I had the Star Trek Monopoly game with the extra character pieces. So the original character pieces that were in the game. And then there were 4 more that you could buy, so I bought those. And I added them to the set, to the game box. I had several books. And I had a few other items. And so I sold them to a guy, and I was gonna take my collection to a bookstore, but then this other guy saw what I had. So he bought everything from me for $100. So I don't have any of my collection anymore. Oh, Leonard Nimoy did? I haven't heard about that. I don't pay much attention to celebrities famous people, and unless I see something come across as I'm looking for other stuff, I really don't hear about that. Okay, I probably may have forgotten about that or just slipped my mind. Yeah, I haven't watched the Picard series because I don't have the right streaming service. I would have to drop Hulu and go to Paramount's service because it's not on Hulu. Yeah, I enjoyed that series too. And I also watched DS9 and Voyager. But the newer ones since then, you know, I don't have the right service. So the only way I could watch it is if I'm somewhere else with someone who has that service that it's on. But I also got into the Stargate. Both of the Stargate series, I watched those. I just put one of the lemon candies in my mouth. Basically, you sucking on it like a cough drop. Now, there may be some in here that are more senior. I'm closer to that. I have been given a senior discount when I've gone into Walgreens to buy something. Yeah, the Stargate Atlantis is the other one that I know about. Well, thanks for dropping in, Smitty. These lemon candies are pretty much the same flavor as the lemon drop candies we have here. But the ones that we get here are more have like a crystallized sugar coating instead of being a shiny surface like this one. Get it to focus. Yeah, the ones we get here are not this shiny. Sorry about that brief disconnect. At least with this phone, when I have a brief disconnect, it's not as long as disconnects I've had when I was using my Galaxy S5. But I was looking at my rations today. Yeah, see, that's what I like about this Rebel 5G. Is so much faster. You know, it's obviously a lot newer. I mean, I've had that Galaxy S5 since 2014. But I definitely like using it. But I was looking at my rations today. And thinking about what I'm going to do. In one of those boxes I got, there was a pack of chipotle tortillas. When I pull out the MRE that has a jalapeno beef patty, I've had that one before. If that one does not have the chipotle tortillas in it, I'm going to put those chipotle tortillas in it that I got as a single loose item in that box. And one of those boxes that I got from I don't I get mixed up sometimes as to who sent me what box and what was in there. But I'm going to save those chipotle tortillas for that particular MRE. What I thought I was making you hungry since I have food in front of me. Yeah, Elsie, I don't know if he could do that. Uploading food might be a bit of a challenge. We don't have replicators yet. Oh, the burgers does sound good. You know, that jalapeno beef patty is pretty much a burger. It's just a rectangular shaped one. Yeah, Mike, I do find sushi a bit fishy. Yeah, that would be nice too. Then I could, if I had a transporter, then I could go out and play in the woods whenever I wanted. I wouldn't have to worry about waiting for a driver. It'd be nice to. It would be nice to go wherever I want, whenever I want, without having to rely on a driver. But yeah, this is my life, so I live it. Yeah, I do like a good sushi from a restaurant. If it comes prepackaged in a grocery store, I would be a little bit skeptical about it, about its freshness. But if I go into a restaurant and they have sushi, yeah, I would eat it there. I don't think so. I would disagree about that one. I'd rather get sushi from a restaurant. That's made right before you order. Yeah, I bought some from a grocery store once. It tasted like it had been sitting there about 3 days. If it's not just a few minutes old, yeah, I'm not going to bother. I would have the same feelings about sashimi. Yeah, if it's not fresh, forget it. I have no idea what a tuna poke is. I'm not familiar with that. Now, if you can find some top quality salmon, the kind I got in my freezer, I don't think I wouldn't call that sushi or sashimi grade. I will only eat that after it's been cooked. Well, see that I'm not familiar with. I have very little experience with Hawaiian cuisine. I was at an event and someone had poi there, so I did sample that. So that's the only Hawaiian dish that I have had any experience with. Now, poi, Poi, Who is 63 in October? Oh, koi is is a kind of a carp. Poi is a puree made from taro root. Yeah, I'm probably not close enough to my mic. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's kind. You can think of it like a taro pudding. And from what I understand, the authentic Hawaiian way is you dip your fingers in it instead of using a spoon to eat it. But where I had this sample, there was a spoon put in a little bowl. But that is the only Hawaiian food that I have had. Yeah, my mom is profoundly deaf. She has almost no hearing in one ear and about 30% in the other, so she wears hearing aids. And she controls them through an app on her smartphone. So she can, although they're not rechargeable, she can open up the app and see how much juice she has in the batteries, as well as check the volume and make any adjustments. But if she can't get that Bluetooth signal, then she really can't control the hearing aids. That's the only drawback to this particular kind that she has. Yeah, there are some people who have that issue, Elsie, where the particular type of hearing loss cannot be corrected by hearing aids. Yeah, with the computer, it would be more precise when you're doing those tunings. Well, thanks for dropping in, Mike. I'm probably going to go ahead and close this one out anyway, since I've only got fake raspberry in my coffee, and these. I will finish those eventually. So this, yep. Yeah, I don't get that. Just shows how stupid people are. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. I do want to thank you all for watching. Again, thanks to Nation MRE Fines for dropping that super chat. That's much appreciated. So I will think about what I'll do for next weekend. Yep. Catch you all on the flip side.